Welcome to the July 1st regular city council meeting. Would you all please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was nice. Roll call, please, Misty.
Clements.
Here.
DeWater.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
Weir.
Yes.
And Smock.
I'll take a motion for approval of the July 1st agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, tonight, the mayor and council have a special guest. His name is Jack Rodden, and we are honoring him this evening for his part of the Iowa Safety Patroller of the Year, rewarded by AAA. So Jack, if you'd come up. This is Jack Rodden, and Pointer and AAA have both awarded him the Safety Patrol Officer of the Year for the 24-25 school year at Pointer Elementary. So Jack, in recognition as the AAA School Safety Patroller of the Year, State of Iowa, 2024-2025 school year, we would just like to give you this memento and to say how proud we are of you, because that's quite a thing for the whole state, right? Not to embarrass you, but we just wanted to congratulate you.
Yeah, young man.
That is quite an honor. Just whoever's watching this tonight, if you see Jack out and about, please tell him thank you. We want our kids to be safe in our school, and he's making sure that's happening. Number 6 on our agenda is public comment. If you have a comment for the council or myself, please come up to the podium. Number 7, approval of the consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 8, approval of the resolution calendar. Take
So
a
moved.
motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Clements.
Yes.
DeWater.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Weir.
Yes.
Number 9 is request to extend completion date of the Quick Trip Development Agreement and Sellers Work from June 20th, 2025 to August 1st, 2025. There was a bunch of items that we had to have as sellers of that property completed. One of them is a lien waiver, and we can't get a lien waiver from the contractors until we're finished paying them. So that's why we extended it out to August 1st at this time. Take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We discussed this a little bit yesterday, our special meeting. 10 is next steps for 952 Gilbertville Road. One thing I think where we need to start above all is have the house checked for asbestos. We have dealt with, I could get quotes too if you'd like, because this is our next step. We have dealt with Advantage Environmental in the past when we removed those properties where Dollar Tree is now. We have dealt with them. I could see if I know they're local. I could see if there's any other services that are offering that. I guess that's our next step, is to have that inspected. Whether we, do a demo, and I don't think you got a copy of that, Adam. If we decide to go the demo route, or if we decide to we do have an opportunity as well to hold a training for our fire department and actually invite guests for that as well. Any thoughts?
What have we heard back? Are there any requirements of, EPA or DNR?
Yeah, actually, Justin stated yesterday, and I'm gonna give that to him. Justin stated yesterday that it's simply a permit
Okay.
to the DNR. One of the things that we would have to get done would have an asbestos testing. But there really was very minor roadblocks to doing that as a training
Okay.
event.
Now
These are, those are quotes, and I didn't have them in the packet because we're not formally doing that yet. I'm really looking for direction on what you guys are thinking.
are we incurring this cost even after fire training?
That was something that, I can't remember, was it Dottie or Sandy asked? Because, especially with the swim pool, we'd have to remove that concrete and fill that in.
Right.
I haven't actually asked Chris and his crew if they would be willing to do that, because we would have to dig out the basement and fill that in, and the same as the septic. So maybe we just need quotes on those three things if we're gonna take the opportunity to do a training.
Yeah, and, I guess I don't know to what extent in the training, how much is it going to burn? I don't know what's gonna be
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
And so, if it's just gonna be that they're gonna do a whole bunch of controlled burns, keep it at hand and not necessarily do a total burn down, well, then we're gonna still have to do this.
Still incur that.
So, not saying that really factors into do we burn or not, it's just quite a bit of money.
You got
Just
it
to
right.
level it,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
In years past, I was involved with a garage that they did a burn as a training session. It was my dad's garage. They started on fire, attack it, put it out. They changed crews to let everybody have a chance to be on the hoses. So they started up several times, depending on how many people are there, to get trained. And then at the end, they burned everything down. So all the wood was burned. The only thing left was the stone for the
Yeah, I would think
chimney.
if they did that, it should cut down on some of the cost.
Right.
Stuff that they've got to haul away from the site. I don't know. So I imagine it was bid taking it as it is right now.
Right.
So
That's what I think that's where we're at that moment.
Okay. I think we're starting to get pieces of the puzzle together, but we need a little bit more yet.
Okay.
At least that's my opinion.
So would you like, first and foremost, to contact some companies and get that rolling as far as the asbestos testing? Because ultimately, that has to happen anyway.
Yeah, it needs to happen either way. 'cause they
Either
need to
way,
know they're
what
getting
we
into.
decide to do. And then get quotes from the two people that we'd already received quotes from to, if Chris's crew is not, it's not that they're probably not able to do it, it's just might be a time thing,
Yeah.
because we keep throwing stuff on them.
Do we have a deadline to get that property leveled?
No,
Okay.
no, so there's no urgency here.
What would be the soonest that would ever be parceled or used for Eagles Landing? Just as soon as
No
somebody
idea.
buys it?
As soon as you make an offer. Adam.
We'd be,
Yeah.
we'd be
I'll get
running
right
down
on
the
that.
road a lot faster if we had an offer on that land.
Yeah, I suppose drag our feet and see what.
Are we
It's not an eyesore
totally,
yet.
are we totally self-insured?
No,
Okay.
oh, not at all.
It'd be interesting to see what the insurance agent would think about this.
Totally fine.
Yeah, we just
Talked
spoke
to him
with them
today.
this morning.
Really?
Yep, totally covered.
Huh.
To do it, to do,
Because I
yeah.
have a link, I don't think I sent it to everybody or anybody. But I mentioned it, that this fire chief was being charged with manslaughter on a training deal where
Yeah.
a fireman died.
Okay,
And that could happen.
Okay.
And can you imagine the liability for not only the city, but our fire department?
and that portion was not discussed in our meeting today, so that went out in an email later this afternoon to them. What, if we wanted to entertain inviting other cities, you know, we have 20 people in our department that would benefit from this, right? But if we wanted to entertain other cities be involved, then what would be the legal requirements? You know, do we need to have them list us as additional insured on their policies? You know, do we need waivers signed? So maybe the next step is maybe more reaching out to our city attorney on that. Cause
I mean,
ultimately,
if it's just as simple as, let's have a barbecue someday, cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is.
in this day and age,
Yeah.
Justin didn't get really any pushback at all from the DNR.
Yeah, so we can burn, we just gotta pay for a permit basically to do so.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of all the other logistics of
little,
it that.
right. Yeah, like
Point.
it's,
I mean, it really is.
Yeah, as everybody knows, I'm totally opposed to it. And in my opinion, they definitely have to define what burns they're doing. If they're burning the whole house down, I am adamantly opposed to that. A few room fires, totally acceptable in my opinion, but,
Is it the pollution that you're against, or?
yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, that's putting
It's a lot of toxic
lots
stuff.
of, yeah, lots of stuff in the air. Hell, I mean, I'm against leaf burning, so, you know. Or like 100 times worse than that.
yeah,
I don't know how we'd ever do it, but it'd be interesting to talk to a city has conducted one of these and just see how it went for them, you know, what they were left with, how much of an impact it made on the community and the environment.
or air quality even.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know how you-
reasoning behind the asbestos testing, and, you gotta
Right.
know what you're putting in the air if you're gonna.
Yeah,
burn it.
exactly. And, you know, thankfully, where it's located is really like a prime spot. Because if we have a nice, what we normally do, you know, westerly breeze, north or south, then it's, you know, it's gonna go into Eagles Landing more say, because there's nobody in there now besides on that right direct impact. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, either Raymar or Elk Run could get the brunt of
Yeah.
the toxic smoke. Do you support this?
I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah. How close to the high lines are they out there? That's pretty hot area for the high lines, isn't it, right beside it?
No, that's a good question too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see them melt the high lines.
Yeah, I don't think
Not
that would
wrong.
be a good
They're
idea.
pretty close.
Yeah.
they could be on that side of the road.
I think they are.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Even if they weren't,
Yeah,
a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And like we said, this is not a fast moving object. This is just something
Yep,
we're
things to
considering.
consider.
Right.
I think the other thing that should be considered, you know, if this were gonna be like an all-day training thing, there's a lot of traffic that moves through there. So we'd have to have some sort of sustained traffic control.
Right.
you know, for people who want a rubberneck and whatnot, so.
Yeah.
So,
Good point.
Thanks, Chief Dean.
Well, I guess now we all got some homework.
Assistant Fire Chief, do you have any, do you have any thoughts one way or another?
Not really, I think it'd be a good opportunity if we could do it, but I mean, unless Ryan has, anything different, I don't see why we couldn't do whatever we're approved for. If he just wants to do some rooms, I'm sure we can do that. If he wants to burn it down to the basement, I ain't never lost a basement yet. That's an old joke, you know, I don't see why, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't limit it in any way that anybody would want us to. I mean, if we just wanna do something where we do just like a burn trailer where you have it in a room and just so it gets filled with smoke so we can do some rescue type stuff and keep it well under control and just do that before it gets demolished. I mean, even that would be, I would say, some pretty decent training, cause we usually have like a smoke trailer that'll come sometimes and they do that, they'll burn something like pallets or straw or something that'll just really kick up the smoke, so it's more of a smoke thing than it is really a fire thing. I mean, even that would probably be good just for the search and rescue aspect of it, even if we could do that, but I haven't talked to the chief too much about it, so I'm not as familiar with it probably as he is, but I would think that even if that's all we got to do beforehand, it would still be a good training, just because a house is a lot different than the trailer stuff, so we can get a hold of stuff like that.
How many on the department have had a chance to, I mean, obviously you guys have had on-the-job, training. But how many, no, yeah, maybe. How many on the department?
It's helpful, because then it goes in the
Yeah.
recording.
To your knowledge.
Yeah.
May have had a chance to do something like this.
A little while ago, we were scheduled to have one, but we weren't able to, get it done, but it's been a while, I think, since we've had something like that. But every once in a while, like Waterloo over their hazmat center they have an actual burn building, it's a steel building that they can actually do this in, and it's a lot more controlled. They do those every so often, like when they'll do, firefighter 1 classes sometimes. At the end of them, they may do those and they'll invite people. If you get enough interest, I think we could do it. So I mean, it's possible, and they have burn trailers that they can bring out.
So that's
So
the
if
majority
you
of
wanna
the
work hard
training.
enough, you can do it. It's usually like a burn trailer, or you'll go to something like that. Most of our other live burn stuff is like, controlled burns for fields is what we get most of the time. Cause a lot of our rural partners around us, cities, do a lot of that compared to us, cause we're more
Urban.
urban than we are anything else. We do have a little bit on the outskirts, but like Raymond, Gilbertville, a lot of them, they do a lot of like field fire control burns, and so that's typically what we get to be a part of. Cause they'll invite us and let us know if we wanna come out and do it,
Sure.
we will, but I've heard of some of the other towns out there doing it with buildings, but I've never heard how complicated it was or anything like that, but I know they still do them out there every once in a while, some of the more rural places, but I know they're a lot more spaced out when you've got, some more rural areas out there, cause I haven't even looked at the property yet, I don't know how close other buildings are or anything like that to it, like exposures.
Yeah.
That'd probably be your biggest concern, at least for me anyway. You talked about the high lines, is there any other buildings next to it or anything like that? That'd probably be my main concern.
And how many training opportunities do you guys get per year, usually?
It depends, it's all on us, how much we do. Bill Demery he's with Waterloo Fire as well, but he helps us out a lot with the training stuff, and lately we haven't gotten as much because our schedule's been really messed up. We've had a lot of the Sim Iowa training for EMS coming out, so we've been doing a lot more of that here lately. A lot of the stuff we've been doing for fire training's been a lot more in-house training of just stuff that we've been doing in-house. But we haven't had a smoke trailer or anything for a while, so we're probably pretty due for that. But it's up to us more than anything.
Sure.
What we really wanna focus on. It'd be a good opportunity, I mean, it really would, to do the house thing, as long as everything lines up the way you guys want it to. And like I said, even, at least me personally, even if we could just smoke a room up real good, or a couple rooms like he was saying, it would still be a good opportunity.
Okay.
And I'm sure we could get our partners like Gilbertville and Raymond and, maybe even Jessup or some of them other guys would probably be interested, I'm sure. As long as insurance doesn't go nuts, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't wanna cause a liability for you guys, but it would be a really good
Right.
opportunity for training, even just for search and rescue. Cause that was a big part of when I did my firefighter one, even for Waterloo and their hazmat center there, they actually have a maze that they do too, and they can shut the lights off, but they also have rooms where they can smoke it up and put in dummies and do all kinds of stuff like that, but it doesn't happen as often as you think it would, but.
And this would be a situation where the fireman would be paid, I'm assuming.
I'm not sure of that. I'm unsure how that works. That'd probably be more of a chief question, but we typically get paid for trainings, but I don't know, this would probably, I'm assuming, be more of a, would assume maybe a weekend thing, right?
I would
'Cause
assume
it's
it
gonna
would
be
be
an
like
all-day
on a
ordeal.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing any kind of burning on it, you're gonna have to be there all the way till the end. We're gonna have to make sure that everything's taken care of, there's no hot spots, we're gonna have to do overhaul, just like we would have probably on a normal fire, so you're talking several hours. I haven't been to a fire very often that's less than probably 4 hours or so, you know, just because we gotta keep a real close eye on it.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna be an all-day deal, so I would assume it'd probably be a weekend thing, probably like an all-day Saturday or something like that. And to be able to get the participation,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably would want that.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think we're in agreement, it'd almost have to be a Saturday.
Well, that's just
Because
me
of the
shooting
traffic.
from the hip,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would assume it would have to be a Saturday, just because we're gonna need the time probably all day to do it. And it'd probably be, make it a lot more available for other departments if we invite them to come and be available. Yeah,
Thank
Thank
you, we
you.
appreciate your input. Anything else, council? I'll take a motion to move ahead with the asbestos quote. Getting a
So
quote
moved.
for asbestos removal, or,
Yeah, I would move to go ahead with finding out, getting an asbestos inspection, and finding out what other steps we could figure out.
yeah, we're gonna have to do that regardless, so if we move forward with that,
I'd second that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mayor council reports, I just want to state to everybody, have a great 4th of July. Be safe, have fun. Be careful with the fireworks.
I've been hearing a lot of them.
Yeah, me too. You had some real loud ones this
Had a
year.
Nice boomer at 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah,
Made me
jump you
real
out of bed.
Uh-huh.
Got me earplugs.
Yeah, and thank you for coming. We really appreciate it, Jack and family. Council?
You know, you mentioned, John Bruskern wanted those spiral stairs.
Yeah.
Do we need to take action on that? I mean, maybe not tonight, but approve, disapprove of that, or is he pushing it? Is it a thing you need a resolution on, or?
I don't think I need a resolution, but we should motion to,
I didn't mean like a formal resolution.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
a solution to the.
Yeah, we could put that on the next agenda.
Okay.
I mean, I will follow up with him and see.
Yeah, suggest $1 million.
Just a starting point.
Okay,
I mean, I imagine if we're gonna get anything out of it, it'd just cover our cost of removal. That can't be easy.
well, he'd have to remove it and show us proof of insurance with us listed.
All right.
We're not removing it. Okay.
I move we adjourn.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, guys.